Welcome back to the Coalition of Friends YouTube channel. My name is Garrett, and today I'm going to bring you a review for Emma. This is a movie that is based off of Jane Austen's book, Emma. I have watched the online series Emma Approved, which I very much say you should go check out. Also, their Lizzie Bennet Diaries. Yes, please. So good. Those are my Jane Austen stuff I like. Then I saw this movie. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know all the stuff that happened during this movie with the audience. But that's not for this video. And I'm just going to move on. Which is why I surprisingly enjoyed this movie. I was really looking forward to this movie because the trailer is great. Anya Taylor-Joy is great. I love her in Split. And she's great in The Witch. Very much should have deserved recognition for an award or at least a nomination for something with that. But instead, they were like, no, we're going to give it to someone else this year for some reason. And that's what usually happens. Horror movies do not get recognition, but maybe she'll get recognition for this movie because she is spectacular in this film. She has to carry the emotional weight for so long of it because she is our main character. So, really, she's in 98% of the scenes, and she is stellar in those scenes. It's such a good character. She's so funny. When she has to be dramatic and argue, she brings it there, and there's such great chemistry between her and the actor who plays Mr. Knightley. It's great. So good. And the actress for Harriet also did a stellar job. I actually liked this movie. I thought it was genuinely funny. 27 things I laughed at in this movie. Sure, it seemed a little bit long. Kind of when you take a Victorian age adaptation as a book and try to move it into a movie, you kind of have tons of plot that's important that you can't really kick out because it would change the story. So I understand why this is long. There have been complaints that it's boring. I disagree. I think it's a wonderful character story. It's wonderful. It's wonderful how it talks about love and what that means, and the social class standards that people had in that time. Especially with, like, the character of Harriet, who is a schoolgirl, who we find out her father is a very poor man who makes shoes. And when Emma is trying to set her up with a wealthier people, they don't want that. They want Emma, who is the wealthy person. And that's nice. Not really. I'm kidding. It's nice to see. It sucks for Harriet because she goes through such an emotional turmoil throughout this movie. Just constant downing of people, her getting rejection, her rejecting other people. It sucks. Let me say what is best about this film. The costuming and set design. These are going to get nominated for the Oscars. This is way prematurely said. I don't care. I just loved how these looked. The costumes are exquisite. They are so well detailed. There are so many dresses and suits for the gentlemen, and each dress is different. It's wonderful. And the movie takes the time to give you scenes of Mr. Knightley getting ready and what he has to go through. Then kind of Emma taking stuff off here and there, putting stuff on a little bit. You don't get a full in-depth showing of the females getting dressed. I think that would be really long for runtime, even if you could cut it together. But you get the understanding this is difficult to wear, like difficult to put on, but you have to because you're in that class of money and wealth. So you have to do that. Otherwise, you're just not fitting in, and that's a drag on that stuff. The actress who plays Mrs. Bates in this movie, I don't know her name, unfortunately, but she was phenomenally hilarious. I loved her. Really good. I didn't like Mrs. Bates in Emma Approved as much, just because I didn't feel like it was I don't think they got it right with the character so much. But I do love Mrs. Bates in this. Maybe they did get it right. It's just because it's modernized. Probably because it was the modernized. I don't know. It's so good. Go watch Emma Approved. And this movie, Emma. Period. Should I put the period on the title of this video? I don't know the title. That's a good question. So, like, this is also... This movie wins the award for being the last one to fill in my Star Wars journal. I took so many notes during this movie. Okay, let's talk about production stuff. There's a lot of shots where, if you don't mind me picking up my camera, a lot of shots are like so. About like this. You have your... Maybe it's a little bit more zoomed in, but still like that. You have your shots a lot like this. You don't get to see the top of the people's heads. It's really focused on themselves, but you do get to see the shoulders. So that is a lot of shots that happens in this movie. Why? Nah, good question. If I knew the answer, I'd tell you why that's the case. But the director liked to do that, and it's really well directed. There's a couple shots where you have one action on one side of a room, and the camera is right here. And then there's a second action over here. So first action, second action. And the camera decides to slide over to where the second action is. So like, say Emma is right here and Mr. Knightley is right here. It slides over. That was really cool. That was interesting to see. It gave it some difference in shot to make it more interesting and visually not boring. Like I said, the set design is amazing. Just the plot itself. It's a good plot. You get involved because you want people to find love. Unless you're a cynic, and then you don't, which then this movie really isn't for you. But it's very nice. I like this movie. I really like this movie, surprisingly. Since it's a comedy, surprisingly. Though it's more dramedy as well. It's a good mix of drama. If I have to give it a knock, because of being really nitpicky, the runtime is a thing. There's a lot to follow. And this is just how my facial hair is, because it's growing. But for some reason, every dude in the Victorian age just wants sideburns, and they're deep, rich sideburns, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that might be a mistake now, because, ooh, it's not a good look for them. That's just a thing that I have to say, though. I mean, it's not a perfect movie. I think it's a very honest adaptation of the novel. Did I draw anything else? Mr. Knightley and Emma's relationship is nice to see blossoming. And once he does start to have like an infatuation for her and her for him, that's really good to see their dynamic. Anya Taylor-Joy has to do so many ranges of acting in this movie. She has to be funny, she has to be serious, she has to be dramatic, she has to be sarcastic, she has to be mean, she has to cry a lot. When she starts crying, ooh, she starts crying. I don't know. I really like this movie. You should go see this movie. Even if you're a guy, go see this movie. It's a good one. So that's the end of my review. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. In the comments down below, if you've seen Emma, tell me what you saw about Emma. Or if you have any other favorite Jane Austen film adaptation, what's your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!